Folks, welcome to another edition of the Free Money Football Sunday Best Bets Show. We are here. NFL Week 11 is here. We're coming off a big week from all of the guys. I had a 4-1 week. I'm feeling good, but you might be like, MereKat, where are the guys right now? Where is some guy named Steve? Where are Ty B? Who is this guy in the Dallas jersey? Folks, this is my buddy, friend of the program, Potato Gobbler from Kota Cappers, joining me because Tybee's in a tree stand somewhere. Stevie is who knows where he is. I needed somebody to come fill in with me. PG was ready to step up to the plate. PG, how are we doing? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, feeling great. Coming in. I got to go to a pretty cool college football game today. So Saturday, and man, doing great. My thing, I'm just a guy on Twitter. I try to have fun with this stuff, and I'm a big supporter of MereKat for sure. I'm one of the. I don't know if I'm the original. I'm not an original MereKat stan, but I'm in that group.
Oh,
No doubt about
I
it.
place you in that group.
Yeah, for sure. Big MereKat guy and a cheapie, and I'm on Twitter. Typically, I follow back unless you're like mean or something, and so at Potato Gobbler is the handle there. I write some articles on college football for Kota Sports Network, and that all those links are there on my Twitter account. So it's been a lot of fun capping some college games this year, but
Yeah.
excited to get after some NFL games with you.
That's why I want to get PG on the program. He's been killing it with his picks. It is Saturday night, folks, just so you know right now. We're pre-recording, getting this ready. So you're all ready to go tomorrow. Whenever we run this, it'll be like 9:30 a.m. You know us. We'll just, whenever we wake up, it'll go live. But we're happy to have PG here. He's staring the barrel of a 4-1 night right now. Knock on wood. We'll wake up tomorrow. We'll be talking about this being 4-1. But we'll get right into the plays right now. I'm going into a play. I'm just going to get out of the way. Please don't hate me, guys. I am still betting the Bills, but when I saw this number, I already pounced on it. I'm going with Jonathan Taylor over 75.5 rushing yards tomorrow against the Bills. He's been an absolute wrecking ball so far this year. He's got 610 yards, averaging nearly 7 yards per carry the last 5 games, which is insane right now. We saw him go against the Jacksonville defense last week. That's top 10 against the rush. He finally broke 20 carries this year. Got 21 carries, wrecked it against a great defense. And you might be like, oh, MereKat, the Bills defense is elite, especially against the rush. We're only allowing 84 yards a game right now. But Star Lotulelei on that COVID list. Tremaine Edmonds, questionable. Not looking like he's going to go. I think it's only been once in the McDermott history that a questionable player has actually played on Sunday. So I don't like his chances with that hammy. And you got Matt Milano banged up. Bills defense is looking banged up. Colts are going to feed the hot hand in Jonathan Taylor. I don't think we hold him under 80. PG, what are you kicking it off with?
Well, I was just going to say, I've got Jonathan Taylor on one of my fantasy teams, and so I know for a fact he's been killing it, especially of late. So I like that play. I like that play a lot. I'm going to kick it off. You went with a game featuring your team, the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going to go with a game featuring my team, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm actually looking at this under 56.5. Not only, I think this number's a little high in the first place. We do have some really good offensive talent, obviously. But this is at Arrowhead Stadium, and we're going to be looking at, from what I saw, 15 plus mile an hour winds blowing through that stadium. That's just a windy state. It just seems to always be windy in there.
One of those wind
It's on natural grass. It's just a little different type of environment. And I think sneakily the Dallas Cowboys defense is kind of decent. They've got obviously the big story with Trayvon Diggs, all those interceptions he was coming up with early in the season. And we know how Mahomes has this year been a little more turnover prone. And so I think Dallas probably picks something off, maybe in the red zone. I think we see some red zone turnovers, maybe from Dallas as well, who are really aggressive. If they get 4th and goal, they're going for it. And if the Chiefs load up and stop it, well, hey, that's a good play for the under. I love the weather there as well for this under. So I'm going under 56.5 with my first play on Dallas and Kansas City.
See, you got to love that play there from PG because he's hoping his own team doesn't score an absolute shit ton of points. And this is a play where you think Cowboys, you think Chiefs, you're like, oh my God, this is an over game, whatever the number is. We like to fade the public here. You'll see that with the rest of my picks coming up with next one, Las Vegas Raiders taking their money line against the Cincinnati Bengals. I like the Bengals. Don't get me wrong, but I like these Raiders. Both of these teams are better than their 2-game losing streaks right now. Some bad losses there for them, but both dealing with their own dramas. The Raiders a little more so, and I like them to come out of this because Derek Carr is a good quarterback, and that Bengals pass defense isn't good. Derek Carr has a chance to take advantage of it. You saw Deshaun Jackson start to get integrated a bit. He only had one catch, I believe, but they needed that speed threat there just to open up the field for Hunter Renfrow, who's been killing it. His props have hit like every single week. Ty B's favorite. And Brian Edwards and these guys, since he is 1-3 against the spread this season as favorites, and the Raiders are 3-2 as dogs, I just like Carr in a shit show type of game. The Raiders defense can get after it a bit, and the Bengals offense doesn't, protect Joe Burrow that well. They rely heavily on the pass, and the Raiders statistically have a good pass defense. The roster's really not that great. It's kind of an abnormality, but maybe they keep it up. I like the Raiders in a close one.
So this wasn't planned at all, I promise, but check this out. I've got my undershirt is Raiders. It's a sign.
It's a sign.
I love it. And the Raiders at home as well. It's a weird place to play. It seems like that crowd gets into it. So why not the Raiders? I'm going to go to my next game, which is an AFC East game. We got Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. I'm going to do it, MereKat. I'm going to take the Jets plus 3.5. I'm going to regret it. I just know it, but this is the right play. We got the Jets at home and getting 3.5 points, more than a field goal. There's nothing super special about these Miami Dolphins. I don't want to come off as a hater about the Miami Dolphins, but I'm just not feeling this team. They don't do a whole lot special to me to say that, they're going to walk into an interdivision rival's house. They're going to beat them by more than 3.5. So they got to beat them by a touchdown or 6 or whatever they get. The Jets aren't great either. I get that. Like I said, I'm not super enthused to always be taking them. Their last game, Buffalo came out and beat them 45-17. So that's not exactly pretty, but I don't think there's anything that Miami Dolphins have done that's too great other than last week finding a way to upset Baltimore. So maybe I get them, coming off of that big win, overlooking the Jets maybe a little bit. Maybe the back door's open. We'll find out. But I think Jets plus 3.5 here.
See, I love the Dolphins earlier in this week when I was first looking at the game, and then I'm thinking more about it. I'm like, there's a reason Joe Flacco's starting and not Mike White. And, they just kind of want to minimize turnovers. They have playmakers on that offense, and Flacco can kind of just deliver it in very, very limited action recently. He's looked decent, and his arm is still there at least. So just get it to those guys, let Michael Carter and that stable of wide receivers who are way too underappreciated eat a bit. But we are going to hear from Ty B, folks. He's not with us, but he did leave us a little video here with his picks out from the tree stand. Let's check him out here.
Ty B here. We're live from a remote location. Already seen 4 or 5 deer. It's going pretty well.
Oh, look at these transitions. Wow.
So you know what that means.
Right up under him.
Are not going to cover this week, so I'm taking the Giants with the points. Give me Saquon Barkley to have a good day. I love Kadarius Toney getting healthy. Giants are going to cover easy. I would love to see some bucks, but I ain't seen none yet. The line in the Saints-Eagles game is a bit sketchy to me. We all know the Eagles are on a roller coaster ride of a season. I don't know. I need a mini muffin to help make my decision on this one, to be honest.
That better be a little bite.
Oh.
Just a little update. Definitely taking the Giants. I did see a buck.
Look at that.
A small buck. That means a small buck win. They're not covering 11 points.
Nice. Sugar-free.
Eagles continue the roller coaster. Eagles with the points. No Kamara. Fuck it. The Minnesota Vikings have been leading in every single game by at least 7 points. That odd, weird, crazy trend is going to continue. And I'm going to take the Vikings. First quarter, you're getting positive value there with plus 130 or so. And the team they had leads early all season. I think the Packers win, but take the Vikings early. tight end Mike Gesicki has just 2 touchdowns all season, but he's going up against the Jets this week. That defense absolutely fucking sucks. They're giving up points to any and everyone. So Mike Gesicki for a touchdown anytime, plus 170. Book it, cash it.
Gesicki scores, Jets win.
Bang.
We all
Defense. Folks, that'll do it for Typees. Top picks of the week. Make sure you go lock all those bets in to make sure you're getting some free money. You're going to be in that pay window very soon and collecting a big stack of money. Just kidding. Also, hammer on a Renfro over receptions. It's cashed in 9 out of 10 weeks. Someone's shooting out here. I don't fucking know what's going on. Just cash on a Renfro over.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Typee's the best. I love him. And, folks, he gave out what? He faded the Bucks at first because he wasn't seeing Bucks. Then he's like, all right, we saw a small buck. We'll take the spread. Well, spoiler alert, he bagged a buck post that video being posted.
Nice.
I think like an 8-pointer. Good for him.
Nice.
But I don't know what his bets mean at this point. I love the analysis, though. Thank you, Tybee, for still getting the picks out to the people. Obviously, we all wanted to hear what you thought this week. And then we'll kick right back into it. I'm going back to the AFC West, another little bit of a betting darling for me, a team I love, bunch of futures on. I am taking the Chargers -5 against the Steelers. And, I thought this play was going to be a little bit of cheese. But when you look at the action throughout the week, as of today, we don't know how it'll change right now. This is Saturday night. But there was about 60% of the action on the Chargers spread here, -5. But over 90% of the money. It's a lot of sharp money. It's not a crazy amount of the action, just about 50%, but you got so much of the money on it. That's a good indicator for me right there. Chargers are only a half a game back from the Chiefs right now in this division, even though they've lost 3 of their last 4. They started out so hot. That was some injuries, plus their defense just looking awful. Brandon Staley is a defensive guru type guy, and they can't stop anything right now. So you might be scared of Najee, but I'm really not. He hasn't been insane this year, and that offense is too inconsistent. The Steelers, I still don't believe are a good team. They're a decent team that's carried by a few superstars and very good players. And what do you know? 3 of those superstars are out with TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Joe Hayden. Defense is susceptible. Chargers are 2-1 against the spread after a loss this year, and the Steelers just tied the fucking Lions. I'm taking the Chargers. Bounce back. Justin Herbert, baby. Let's go.
Dude, I like it. I do have to get this out of the way. Somehow we are fading each other right away because I took the Steelers plus 5.5.
Go. I love it when we fade. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll just see. And truthfully, this way is the best because one of us wins. So we can at least, kind of give the other one a pat on the back. Yeah, the Chargers here, or the Steelers, excuse me, on the road. This is the Sunday night game. I wanted to have a play for this game. And when I looked, I like a lot of the things that the defense of the Steelers can do, but there's a lot. If you go to the injury report, like you said, there's a lot of outs, and they're all on defense. So it's going to be interesting. I think the task is going to be to try to score with the Chargers, because especially at home, seems like they've got that offense going. I don't know if that makes Herbert a little more comfortable. It's going to be difficult to get to him without TJ Watt, but I still think it's possible. So I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be one of those weird settings as well, MereKat, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans in there. And so what does that kind of do to the Steelers players? Does it motivate them? They're on prime time. I think they at least keep it close. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where I feel like this is kind of cheesy, but I'm not sure how it feels. The Chargers have been so unpredictable, and we like when we don't agree on all the picks on this show. Not that we like fading our friends or each other, but we like to see the different viewpoints. Sometimes we talk each other in, or just a little competition. It's for you guys, whatever, we'll talk you into one side. I'm probably wrong. I'd go with PG, guys, but we will get into our next round of plays. And I'm going back to the barrel here. A heel. What did I just say? I don't know. But a team I hated taking last week. Absolutely hated. They covered miraculously for me. I hate them maybe even more this week, but something's telling me to take them again. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints plus 2.5 against the Eagles. I have to here. I like Jalen Hurts so much, but Nick Sirianni is a dipshit. Like, Jalen Hurts hasn't gone over 200 passing yards 4 of the last 5 games because of how he's been running the offense. Sirianni with, making it just so one-dimensional, even though, you got Devontae Smith, you got Jalen Reagor, you got Dallas Goedert, you got these guys and Jalen Hurts, and you're just, hey, we're going to be a run-first offense. We're going to take Jordan Howard off the practice squad and Boston Scott and make them feature backs right now, which it's kind of working, but that's a gimmick that's not going to last long. It kind of reminds me of like a Greg Roman light type system, and Miles Sanders is coming back now, and the rush offense was awful with Miles Sanders, and Miles Sanders is going to be RB1, I guess, but who knows how they're going to use him. I think it kind of might mess things up. Like I'm saying, I hate the Saints too, but the Eagles are so one-dimensional with that rush, and the Saints are the best rush defense in the league right now, just 73 yards per game, 3.1 yards per carry they're allowing, and they're Saints bad injuries. I will admit it. Bad injuries that make me hate this more. They're missing Ryan Ramczyk, another starting, Teron Armstead, and Alvin Kamara. I mean, those are your cornerstone offensive linemen and your superstar running back. But Ingram covered last week in the backfield. He did well enough, but the offensive line scares me a bit. The Eagles just don't generate a ton of pressure this year. 27th best pass rush right now, and I don't know. I hate this. I hate this play. I like them to cover in another ridiculous game. I like the Eagles, but I don't see them winning by a lot. If they do win, I'll take that 2.5.
As a Cowboys fan, I love that play, MereKat. Yeah, for sure. Fade the Eagles, especially at home. They haven't won at home, right? Isn't that still a thing?
They might have won, but they're not doing great. They're covering all right at home. I think they're like 2-2 against the spread at home, but I don't think they're winning.
Yeah. So there you go. My next play, MereKat, I'm going with the straight money line. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings money line at home against the Green Bay Packers. Once again, a divisional game. Once again, a rivalry game. I just like Minnesota at home here. I think Kirk Cousins, that he can do enough with Justin Jefferson and these weapons he has. The Packers, I watched their last game against Seattle, 17-0 winner. It was okay. Obviously, defensively, they came up with a bunch of stops. They held them to a shutout. But offensively, I didn't think there was anything extremely special that's just going to blow these Vikings out of the water. Mm-hmm. So I like Minnesota at home on the money line. It's just like plus 101. So it's not anything insane, but whatever. If you can get plus a point and that makes you feel better, go for it. I just think as close as it is, I'll just take the money line and act like I picked some big underdog.
I wanted to, fade the Vikings here for the longest time. Like, I was coming in today and I was so sure I was going to make the Packers one of my plays. And then I start really digging into it. I'm like, these Packers are, I say this about the Titans all the time, but the Packers are a kind of a team that needs to come down to earth. They need to have that game. They covered every game but week 1 this year. But when you look at their DVOAs and stuff, it's kind of unsustainable. It's like, they're like just outperforming what they're really performing on the field, and it's got to happen at some point. So I took them off my card. I don't hate that. I'm probably avoiding that game. We do have plays from Stevie too, folks. Stevie's not in a tree stand with little bites, though, for us. He just texted them in. I'll run through them real quick for you. This one against PG here, which, hey, we're cool with. Dolphins -3. The defense has been playing better recently, and Joe Flacco is starting, Stevie. That's all he says. Stevie doesn't like Joe Flacco. He's going with the 49ers -7. I will never take the 49ers. He's not worried about the backfield injuries. Kittle's healthy is the big difference. He thinks it's a blowout game. And he's going with a Bills 49ers 6.5-point teaser -120. Gets them both the -1. He thinks this feels too easy. Again, it's the 49ers, Stevie. You homer. Najee Harris over 82 rushing yards, averaging 24 carries, 92.2 rushing yards last 5 games. Chargers' worst rush defense in the NFL with 155 yards per game surrendered. And Justin Fields, over 211 passing yards. The Ravens allow the most passing yards per game in the NFL, which surprising stat at 298.8 yards per game. Fields had his best game of the season last week, 291 yards. I'm pretty sure I gave out the Fields over prop in the cheapy gambling chat.
I think you did.
And I don't expect the Bears to stop the Ravens, so they will be throwing. Don't hate that. I love Justin Fields. I hate Matt Nagy and the Bears, but I love Justin Fields. Stevie, good luck to you, you homer, with those 49ers. When am I going to talk you off of those 49ers? They are frauds, Steven. Stop it. But I will get into my last play here. I think me and PG both have teasers for our last play. Mine's a little same game teaser. I'm going with the Seahawks +8. It's a 6.5-point teaser. Seahawks +8 versus the Cardinals. And then Seahawks Cardinals under 53.5 points here. It's at -130. I like the Seahawks, regardless if Kyler plays or not. He's a true game time decision. And Russ didn't look great last week. They rushed him back. That's definitely for sure. But extra week off, all that, dude. He said he was rehabbing 19 hours a day. Now that's complete bullshit, but I believe he was probably rehabbing 14 hours a day. Whatever you can actually do to rehab a finger for 14 hours in a day that's actually healthy. Probably just chugging concussion water. I don't know. But he's got to play better than he did last week. Russell Wilson's good. He's never lost more than 9 games with the Seahawks. Hasn't won less than 9 games with the Seahawks team since he's been there with Pete Carroll. And I don't think they're going to get the 9 this year, but they might get close. He's got the weapons. They're getting a bit healthier. And Kyler, if he plays, he's going to be hobbled, which if you're not worried about his rush or he's playing scared, that takes away 90% of what Kyler Murray is. And a lot of the public money is on the Cardinals spread, 55% of the bets, but just 30% of the money. And then I don't take totals. Everybody knows that. I will tease one in a little teaser, I guess, every now and again. The numbers just pointed me to this one. The under 6-0 in the Seahawks last 6 games as dogs, and 7-0 in the Cardinals last 7 as road favorites. The quarterbacks are beat up. Who knows what this game's going to really give you. Add some extra points, but I don't like them to score a ton. PG, what's your teaser?
Yeah, so I picked up a 4-team teaser, give you a little juice. I think I got it at like +250 something. Anyway, I like the San Francisco 49ers -0.5 point over the Jags. I think all we need them to do is win. I don't think the Jags are going out and trying to win games. I mean, they want another high draft pick. They've already won 2. They're just trying to get out of there. I think San Francisco is going to win. So it's almost like taking San Francisco money line. It's pretty great. Lions versus Browns. Take the Browns -6. Chubb's back, if I'm not mistaken. It's a much more physical team than the Lions. The Lions are going to get someone eventually. And the Browns probably aren't a terrible candidate, but I just think the Browns are so much more physical than the Lions are. They're going to just beat them up. It's probably going to be, cold and windy in Cleveland. So just run the ball with Chubb. And so -6 there over the Lions. Next, we got Washington football team at Carolina. I'm taking Carolina +3. They're obviously just short favorites in this game, but with this teaser, then you get to be basically a short underdog. You're covered by a field goal. I think Cam Newton. I mean, what else can you say? Maybe the Magic's back. I'm trying to pick them now while they're kind of lower on the totem pole. I think maybe Cam revitalizes them this season and they have some decent results. We'll see. But Carolina +3. And then lastly, I had to homer out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Cowboys at Kansas City. I'm taking Cowboys +8.5 over a touchdown. I think the Cowboys can score. I don't know if that goes. Obviously, I have the under in this one, so I don't think they scored a ton, but I think they can score enough to at least cover the 7 or 8.5, excuse me, over Kansas City. I think they could win straight up, to be honest with you, but now we're getting an 8.5 point cushion, so I like that a lot. And that's the 4-team teaser.
I love it. Great value there on the teasers. I love teasers on this show. NFL teasers are the absolute best. And PG, not going to lie, I am taking the Cowboys straight up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I like the Cowboys tomorrow. There's a little bonus pick, I guess, for you folks, but that'll wrap it up from us. We got the picks from Ty B. We got the picks from Stevie, even though not here. And we got Potato Gobbler, PG, the man himself from Kota Cappers. Go follow him on Twitter. Great follow. Better guy. Like we said, no mean people, though. We don't want that. We don't watch mean people on the show. We're just degenerates. We're here for some free money. We're here to gamble on some football. I hope everybody crushes it this week. Hopefully we can keep it hot on this show. Make sure you get down to the book, slam your bookies. Shout out to our sponsors, Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? Thank you all, and let's crush.